there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we are in gorgeous West Virginia. We're actually at the New River Gorge and the New River Gorge Bridge, which is one of the coolest bridges you can see in the U.S. Don't worry, you've seen it in postcards and stuff. It's actually right through those clouds, so hopefully you'll get to see some of those today. But don't worry, you will get to see it. And today what I want to talk about are the don'ts of visiting the New River Gorge and this whole kind of adventure tourism area here, because this part of West Virginia is really exploding with tourism. Like tons and tons of people are coming from all over the U.S. to visit here because there's so much to do. You've got whitewater rafting, you've got incredible ziplining, you've got aerial obstacle courses, you've got shooting, you've got paintball, you've got laser tag, you've got so many things you can do around here that is fantastic for the family. So we're actually here visiting with some family friends of ours, having a big old double family vacation, and it's been great. But even those things that's great, you know I have to give you the don'ts. So that what we're going to do today are the don'ts of visiting the New River Gorge and basically kind of like southern West Virginia, okay? And since we're talking about the New River, and probably the most important and most popular activity people do when they come to the New River is rafting, okay? And my first don't has to do with rafting specifically, and that is don't forget to have a very honest conversation with your group about your level of comfort with rapids. Because there's basically two whitewater rafting kind of paths you can take. You can do the upper New River, or you can do the lower New River. And the upper New River, which you think would be upper, is that harder? No. The upper New River is easier. You have level 1, 2, and 3 rapids, okay? Most of the time, you'll be fine. That's the one they send people with their little kids on to enjoy, okay? You'll be fine. It'll be a great time. There are a couple spots where you may or may not tip over. Someone you know may or may not have tipped over at one spot, and someone you know, son and wife, may have tipped over at another spot. But honestly, the upper one, really easy, fun to do, and safe for the family. The other one, the lower river, that is where you have levels 3, 4, and 5 rapids. It gets a lot more serious there. So if you're not comfortable, you're kind of scared about doing whitewater rafting, I would recommend doing the upper one because it's a lot easier, okay? If you're adventuresome, you're like, I got this, no problem, we got this. Go crazy with the lower one. And the lower one, actually, when you finish, you're like down here under the bridge. I mean, it's really, 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 really cool, okay? But either one you do, you have a magnificent views and a fun time for all, okay? Now, there is one thing I want to say. Don't think you're necessarily going to get to do whitewater rafting every single time. If the water is low or there's not a lot of flow through, you might get switched from whitewater rafting to these duckies, which are like inflatable kayaks for 2 people. So that might get switched, okay? So don't be surprised if it happens, but most of the time it doesn't, okay? So I just want to give you the heads up for that. And when you are rafting, probably the biggest safety thing I'm going to tell you about rafting is if you dunk, if you fall out, don't forget to keep your head up and keep your feet up, okay? Because when you go in the water, if your feet get stuck in the rocks below, that's how you drown. That's the really dangerous part. If you stay up and you keep, this is your feet, your head's here, you keep like this, you want to point downstream and just flow with the river. Okay, that'll get you through. It'll keep you a lot safer. So, and don't worry, they'll give you have to wear the vest and make sure you keep them tight, nothing loose because it comes up over you. They give you helmets, all kinds of stuff. So you'll have that. And another thing is don't take your valuables when you go whitewater rafting. There will be people that will take pictures for you and someone will actually do videos for you if you're doing that because it's whitewater rafting. You will lose stuff. And what's cool is when they take you out there, they'll have a bucket where you can put your wallet, you can put your keys in. I mean, we just locked everything in our car and just left the keys so you'd be okay. But I mean, people lost glasses, shoes, they had a phone. I mean, if you have one of those neck strap things that attaches to you and you put your phone in there or whatever, your camera, take pictures that way, that could work. But I'll be honest with you, whatever you take on the river, don't expect it to come home with you because not everybody came home with everything. Now, another thing I think might be important to mention if you are going to be doing some of those rafting adventures or zip line or anything that's going to take a while, a lot of these things, if you go in whitewater rafting, you're looking at a 6 to 7 hour day. Leaving at 8 in the morning, coming back at around 3. So that's kind of a long go. Okay, and my don't for you is don't forget to go pee or poo before you leave for the day. Because when you're out there, you're not really finding any toilets except if you want to make some sea pickles, okay? And you don't want to make sea pickles when you're out there. So just know the restroom options aren't great. When you finish the upper river, if you're doing the easier one, there are bathrooms at the end, but they're just a hole in the ground. And you'll know you're there because might catch a whiff of it. So just have a heads up. And as much fun as we had doing whitewater rafting, I mean, just seeing Liam's face and how happy he was going through it all, and he even dunked out and he had a great time. It was just a fantastic experience. Don't think that when you come here, it's just whitewater rafting. They have some of the best zip lines in the country here, okay? Bonsai, one of the companies that actually makes zip line courses, they come back almost every year to just do the course here. And you have a couple really cool courses. There's a treetop canopy, which has got 10 zips, and you do some rappelling, and there's bridges you go over. That's the one Jocelyn and Caleb, our friends, did. I had to stay back with Liam, but I'll talk about that in a bit. And they loved it. It was so cool. But they also have the gravity zip line, where you're literally going like 60 miles an hour, or 3/4 of a mile, vroom, down the way. I mean, it's pretty intense. It is pretty insane. And I think everybody that went and all the things we did when we were here, the zip lining was the best thing they did. Okay, so we have that. But it's not just zip lining or rafting. There's also, you want to go paintballing, you've got that. There's a ton of great hikes around here and trails you can go on. Some of them might be from your resort. You can go to Long Point Trail and do some hikes there. I mean, there's just a lot of outdoor activities you can do. But if you're going to be outside, and you will be outside when you're here, don't forget to bring serious bug spray. Not just spit. No, you got bees, flies, horse flies, mosquitoes, God knows what else. You do need to shh everywhere, okay? Because they can be pretty bad. So make sure you have that. Oh, but anyway, some of the other things you can do when you are here are paintball, laser tag. You can go shooting. You can, if you want to drive about 90 minutes, you got these caverns you can go to, Lost World caverns you can go to and do like a 4-hour hike through the caverns and have a fun time there. There's state parks that are here. And if I didn't mention before, you're starting to see the bridge. You can walk underneath the bridge. Not recommended for people scared of heights. Just letting you know that one, all right? But just realize you have a lot of stuff to do here. We've been here for 4 days, and we've been busy the entire time, all 4 days. And at night, we'd chill out at a bonfire and just have a fire bar, a cabin, and drink some adult beverages and some not adult beverages, and just have a great time talking about the adventures of our day. And the thing is, you're going to talk a lot about your adventures, but you might not see a lot of your adventures, because my next don't for you is don't expect a lot of chances to get that Instagram picture or that family picture or the adventure picture, because when you're doing these things, if you're going whitewater rafting, if you're going ziplining, if you're going to be in the aerial obstacle courses, you don't really get to take your camera. I mean, you could, but it's really high chance you might drop it or lose it. And so therefore you don't get a chance to get all those great pictures. That's why when you're watching here, you notice that we don't have too many things about whitewater rafting. We don't have anything from the zip lines. Why? Because we didn't take our stuff. So I would recommend, if you're going to do the zip lining, maybe if you have a fanny pack, you could wear that so you can take it out and get some stuff and pictures and videos for yourself. But just know that you don't always get it. And all the places seem to sell photos of the day, or some place will sell the videos of your rafting tour so you can get those. So the pictures you're seeing of me and Liam and Caleb and Jocelyn and our friends, that's not our pictures. Those are what they took for us, and we had to buy them. Okay, so just have a heads up. Because I would have loved to have the picture of Caleb running off this cliff and jumping and going, oh no, this is farther than I thought. It would have been awesome, but alas, that can be problematic. And speaking of problematic things, don't forget to bring a little first aid kit when you come here, because of all the outdoor activities, whether it is the hiking, the rafting, zip lining, paintball. Little injuries do happen when you're here. I actually have a sleeve for my ankle in case I had sprained it again. We've had to use quite a few bandages while we've been here. There have been a few friendly fire incidents in paintball. I did not shoot Jocelyn, nor did I shoot my friend Brad. That was their own family members that did that to them. Not me, okay? But you would probably be best if you have allergies, bring your Claritin or Benadryl at night, have your Band-Aids, have your Neosporin. Also, have aloe, because my next tone for you is don't forget to use sunblock and reapply often, okay? Because when you're going out on the water, you're going to do things, you're outdoors, and that sun beats down, and you don't think, oh, West Virginia, it's not a beach. I don't need to worry about the sun. You do. Especially when you're rafting, get the tops of your legs, if you're wearing shorts, and your knees and the tops of your feet and ankles, because those really hardly ever get much sun, and they can get burned really bad because you're out there. Think about it. You're out on the water for hours. So make sure you're reapplying. I know I said don't expect to bring a lot, but they'll tell you bring some sunblock and some water when you're on the hikes and when you're on the rafts, because those float so they can grab them out of the water. So be safe with that. And don't let a rel lady walk behind you at the paintball, okay, course? Just letting you know. Now, my next tone for you is Don't worry if you're not staying on property that you won't be able to do the activities on some of these properties. We're staying at Adventures on the Gorge, and they've been great. They took us out to the zip line, they took us out rafting, but you have to realize this, every rafting company is going to do the same river, right? But getting access to certain things, you might have to go through a certain property to do the zip lining, to do the aerial obstacle courses. You'll probably have to do that, but don't worry, you don't have to stay there to sign up. But it does make it easier. I know for us, when they're like, okay, you're leaving at 8:05 for rafting, so be there at 7:25 or 7:45 or whatever, we could get up at 7 and get over here no problem because it took 2 minutes to get here. Now, I've been talking about a lot of this outdoor adventure stuff when you're here, but another don't I have for you is don't forget to go into Fayetteville, okay? Fayetteville, West Virginia, and they have it on their signs, is one of the coolest small towns in America. And it actually is. When you go in there, in the historic downtown, you've got the courthouses there, this red brick building, which is kind of cool. But when you're there, there's these little shops, there's some restaurants that are down there, and you can eat and drink well. It's like a cool little place to be. So don't forget to go there. Now, if you need to go to Walmart or you want to go to Arby's or McDonald's, whatever, you just go farther down the road. That's still Fayetteville, but it's not the historic part. So don't skip out on going to the historic part of Fayetteville. And the Fayette Station Road, this beautiful drive you can go around and take in. Oh my God, see some little towns that are around there. You're like, wow, this is really kind of cool. There's one called Thurman where it still has the facade, so it looks like a mining community. You can do that. My don't for you when you are driving on the roads here in the back roads is if there's yellow lines, don't think those yellow lines are really dividing the road into two parts that two cars can equally fit on. Don't be surprised if you need to actually drive like in the middle of the road sometimes, because on the back roads, they can be a bit small. So just letting you know, okay? Now, another thing I need to mention to you is don't forget to grab some of the good eats when you're here. In Fayetteville, we went to the Pink Pig barbecue, and oh my God, they make their own sauces. They were phenomenal. The ribs just fell off the bones. The pulled pork was fantastic. The pork belly, oh, it was wonderful. But what's cool, it's an old service station. So like they open up the garage doors and you eat inside the garage part. The people are super nice. Oh, the banana pudding, insane good, like insane good. So definitely do that. One place that all the guys, everyone talked about and said you had to go is Pies and Pints. So for pizza and beer, that's a great place. If you're looking for a good breakfast thing, I suggest Tudor's Biscuit World, and because and get their biscuits and gravy. Amazing. And really, when you go like, I need a double biscuit and gravy, no, you'll be fine. I was fine with a single biscuit and gravy because it's a lot. But man, they got these huge biscuit sandwiches. It's awesome, but I gotta warn you, they only open until 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and you'll notice that the line going in is like blocking the road. They actually have an additional parking lot up the hill. Okay, so park there and walk in. It'll go a lot better, all right? And I know I said they close at 3 p.m. Another don't I have for you is don't wait to eat dinner, okay? The Pink Pig closes at 7. Some of the other restaurants close at 8. Most everything is closing down for food and stuff at 9. All right. So if you're doing a later day activity, like if you've got a 6 o'clock paintball thing, you might not finish till 8. So it might not be able to get dinner. So you might need to either eat on property someplace or grab your food beforehand, just because that was one thing that was sad is last night we finished paintball, and we wanted to go get some more grub, but a lot of stuff is already closed. So just wanted to give you a heads up for that one. And if you want to self-dine or self-cater your stuff, there's a Walmart down the road that has an insanely large grocery section. So you'll be okay. Another thing I think I need to mention is since you're going to be going, maybe you're going to go rafting or you're going to go hiking, don't forget to bring multiple types of shoes when you're here. Look, have good hiking shoes for those hikes, but also pick up a pair of water shoes. So when you do go rafting, you have shoes that don't make you sink to the bottom, okay? Because you will need those. And a lot of the resorts sell them. Walmart had them, they're here. But just to be safe, if you got like a different shoe size or something, or for little kids, I would grab them before you come because you will use them when you're here. And speaking of hiking, I think one of the things you really need to do is go out, and even if it's just a path or a small trail or hikes, get out and hike. But what you can do, get out and hike to one of the outlooks so you can go see the bridge. I mean, that's one of the coolest things. There's actually a visitor center with an outlook you can go to, and you just walk down there, and then you're like, hike, some steps. You get there, and then you turn like, whoa, there's the bridge. And it was just so cool, and you can see the river down there, and it's gorgeous. But don't forget to take in the bridge and take in those hikes and just enjoy it when you are here. And my don't I think that's gonna hurt you the most when you are here, that might upset people, is don't think the weather here at the New River Gorge works like back at home. Because since it's a gorge here, actually sometimes it kind of sucks in the weather and keeps the weather longer than you think. So if a storm's coming from the north, it might get stuck here for a while. Whereas at home you think, oh, this storm is going to blow over in 15 minutes. No, it might be stuck here for 45 minutes or an hour. Okay, you're like, what's going on? Or it might be a storm pops out of nowhere. That does happen, so maybe bring a poncho if you want, or just realize if you're going to be doing ziplining, if you're going to be doing any of those aerial things, if there's any lightning or anything like that, they will close it down. And we were actually talking to people that did zipline right before Jocelyn, our friends, did it, and they actually had to climb down 70 feet because the storm came out of nowhere. And you'll hear them talking, what does the radar say? What does the radar say? Because they're always checking it, because the weather can change so rapidly when you're here. And if you're here in the morning, you notice the fog is lifting. It can be a bit foggy sometimes, so be careful you're driving out for breakfast. And I think my don't that transfers over from our don'ts of West Virginia video is, don't think you need to drive as fast as the locals. Look, they've been living in these mountains. They've been living on this gorge. They've been driving these roads for a long time. You have not, okay? Don't worry, take your time when you do that drive. If you're gonna do the Fayette Station Road drive, or you're gonna drive around and just take stuff in, because it is a lot of this, okay? So I just wanna let you know to keep you safe, because honestly, this has been a wonderful family vacation. Our friends were here with the Rels. We go on a trip with them every couple years to do things like this, and this has been our favorite one yet. And honestly, I was planning on this just to be a relaxing vacation, not filming, not doing any of that stuff, and here I am making a video because it inspired me to make a video and enjoy. So I hope this helps you know a little bit more about coming to New River Gorge and the rafting and all the fun that's here. If you want to learn more, maybe the don'ts to visiting West Virginia, or what to eat when you come to West Virginia, we have that on our website at woltersworld.com, or you'll see it at the end screen here somewhere popping up. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in West Virginia. Special thank you to all our patrons on Patreon and our members on YouTube. If you want to find out how you can help us keep making honest, fun travel videos, go to patreon.com/woltersworld to find out more. I'll say bye from West Virginia.